We call this a pop-up in my industry. I'm just doing this real quick. I just thought I'd spend about 30 minutes with you guys. I have to get back to writing, so I thought I'd have you join me. Hey, Evan. I missed Kung Fu today. I had to work, so I couldn't make it. How's everyone doing tonight? I am just working on a Marco piece. And I'm trying to decide on his expression. I haven't decided yet. Yeah, I had to, but I'm going to be there for promotion on Saturday. Evie and Julia, I think, are promoting, and I'm not promoting yet, but they're yellow belt. So I guess apparently you promote faster on the first one or something. So, but I'm going to go work out on Saturday. Dante, yes, finally at the beginning. I figured if I kept trying, you'd finally catch one right at the start. So this is for Marco's character sheet we worked on earlier in the day. Oh, thank you, Jess. Yeah, they're pretty excited. I'm just experimenting here with some non-canon outfit for Marco for this particular one. Oh, so are you a Marco fan, Jade? Finally, we have a Marco fan. Marco does not get the credit he deserves. Honestly, he will. I'll see to that. This is the one that goes with his character sheet. Hey, Liv. You know what? I threw away that other picture we were working on because it was not working. It was not working. And so I said, I'm going to try something a little different. Not different. It's not like this is like some unique pose, but I don't know. It wasn't working. So. Yeah, I didn't like it. It wasn't looking right. It wasn't looking right. So I decided to do something more like this. Hey, Max. By the way, is the music okay or is it too loud? I've kind of left the... I stole your line? What line? What line did I steal? I'm just kind of making up his jacket here. Like I said, this is just for his Flux Fantasy, which wouldn't be... Oh, you're not hearing any music? You guys are not hearing any music? Hold on. Is that a little better? Can you hear that? Is that a little better? So I'm kind of just working on this non-canon outfit since... Does Marco like fish? You know, I could see Marco liking fish. I think Marco would eat fish. Absolutely. Okay, but you can't hear the music or no? Because I got the music playing. I think it's pretty good too. You can hear it? Okay, is it too loud or is it... I'm just gonna give him this kind of big puffy hoodie jacket thing. Oh, it's gonna grow more when the next book comes out because all them Marco haters are gonna regret what they were. You are all gonna regret it. Not naming names, just saying. I do like I really like being able to draw on different layers of the hair because it's always fun to like turn off the hair. Hold on, see. You can see him if he had it. That's Marco with a buzz cut. Should I just go buzz cut with Marco? That'd make drawing him so much easier if I just buzzed his hair down. You can hear the music? Okay. Anyway, so I like, it's fun to kind of play with different hairstyles or to like push his hair back. Like if I wanted to, I could do this and then like push his hair back like this. What do you think of that if we do it? Since this is non-canon, Marco, or Flux Fantasy. What do you think of that? No bald, Marco. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Mark, how about you? I'm doing better than you guys are here. Anyway, so I thought it'd be kind of fun. I could either do this. So Liv, you can, I'll let you pick. Do you want me to do something? You want me to push his hair back a little bit for this? Just for this picture? Or do you want me to do in his face? You pick. I guess I could always do two versions. I could always draw both hair. Oh, Rio, you don't know what you guys who dislike Marco, like you are just gonna regret all of it. I'm just telling you. You like the hair pushed back? Okay. I'll do a version like this too. I'll do like a layer that I can turn on for his hair. So we'll let Liv wants his hair pushed back, so we're going with that. Give him some of these stray hairs here. You regret nothing? Oh, you like it down? So I'm gonna do both. I'm gonna create two layers and then I'm just gonna do two versions of him. Especially since I never draw enough Marco, at least I owe him like two layers, right? So I'm thinking of just like a simple, I sometimes like just doing these simple smiles like this, just like a attitude smile, or I could do a frown. We could go with a frown, kind of broody frown, or we could do a sort of grin. I need to fix this. What do you think, Liv? Oh. You like the smirk? Yes? Help, I'm in my little round bubble. Oh my god. New video going up tonight, biochemistry video. Did you watch the Clockwork one? Oh, by the way, this video that's gonna go up tonight, it's actually really funny because there's a part of the video that, yeah, there's a part at the end of the biochemistry video. What's really funny is that when I was recording the video, there was something really, how do I put that? Like, oh, I start talking about the rules of chemistry, and I start actually reading from the rules. I'm like, oh, according to section Title 5, section whatever, and I was reading from the rules of chemistry, and it was so nerdy and so like, and I was saying it so seriously that it was preposterous, and I couldn't deliver the line, and I laughed for like 5 minutes. I was like tearing up, and anyway, so Ella put that as the outtakes. At the end of each of those videos, pretty much any talking head video of me, after the end credit logo, you should wait because there's always some outtakes that she includes. And this one was really funny. Like I was dying. I couldn't. It was pretty crazy. My head. What is my head? What? Oh, be quiet. Look how much room. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of room in here. Okay, let's get back to this. We got work to do, children. Because I got to get back to writing. I like the hair pushback for this one too. I am gonna do both though. I'm gonna do both, but this one is kind of like you don't usually see Marco like that. If you want to see Marco, before I do this, if you want to see Marco with it, you want to see him with a what's it called? A mohawk? Let's draw him with a mohawk real quick, just for fun. Yeah, he does look. He looks really serious with the hair, with it pushed back. I think I'm just gonna do that for. By the way, before I do the hair, notice the lines for my artist friends in here. When I structure the face, see the stuff we talk about before. You can see the structuring and the spacing that I do to keep the. This is the optimal proportions for Marco, and so sometimes when the face is not looking right, like the last picture I was doing this afternoon, which at first I was like, oh, this is looking good, and I was like, wait, something's not right. It's because these proportions were not right. So the cube lines, exactly. So anyways, let's give him a quick mohawk before. What kind of mohawk? Should I give him a big one just for fun? Just for fun. That's what's kind of fun with these is I can just try out different hairstyles, you know, just for fun. What do you think? Punk rock Marco? Marco finally gets pushed over the edge. Anyway. Any more hairstyles you want me to try before I go? We're just playing around right now. I need to be pushed back a little bit. You want me to give him a bowl cut? So Hugo's brother Klaus has a bowl cut. Oh yeah, yeah. It's not right for him. I would never give him a. He wouldn't wear that, I think. We're just doing these for fun. I've been like working on creative stuff all day, so I'm kind of like, I just want to have fun for a minute, just to play around. I should be finishing this, but you know what? You want me to give him Hugo's hairstyle? He might end up looking like Hugo. Do it. I'll give it to him, but just because I have kind of the same head structures. There's Marco with a bowl cut. And then Marco with, if I draw Marco with Hugo's haircut, he'll probably look like him, except just taller, let's see. Could they be? The only reason you don't see them in the same room is because yours truly doesn't do a good job of drawing lots of art where I should be putting them together. There he is with Hugo's haircut. This music is slapping tonight. That's kind of good. He looks good with Hugo's haircut. An undercut looks good, I think, I think a good undercut looks really good. So it does look good on him, doesn't it? But then he doesn't have anything to like hide his eyes under. He likes to hide his eyes under his hair. That's why he... Nope, not that. Give me one more. Give me one more, and then I'll get back to drawing. What's one more hairstyle you guys want? Emo haircut. Isn't that basically what he has with the hair when he has it down in the front? I would kind of consider this kind of shaggy. Spiky? Okay, let's try spiky. Let's try spiky here. Nope, hold on. There. You're welcome. There's a spiky hair. And I wouldn't rule out changing his hair later, but at this part of the story, the hair is kind of symbolic because he hides behind it, you know? It looks cool, right? Probably make it like this. It does look good, doesn't it? Do you prefer that over his normal hair? It kind of does. It does have kind of a Bakugo feel. Bakugo is more like this, though. If I were to do Bakugo, his hair is more like... It's more... Oh, hold on. It's more like... Isn't it like more... All the way... It's like a boom. Something like that. Okay, so you do like his yeah. So... Yeah, I think so too. We got to go classic Marco. So Marco's hair color looks like... Marco's hair color, since you were asking, his official hair color is this one. This one. These are his hair colors. It's like a... Yeah, it's like a... I've gone through so many colors with him. Like whenever... Yeah, this is it right here. This is his base color. You guys have seen Marco on the internet. You've seen him. This is how he looks like colored in. Oh, you like, that's when I feel like I hit him. I feel like this picture right here was the one where I figured him out. Like I'd been working hard to kind of figure out his design, and that was the one that I figured it out. I feel like, you know. Yeah, he probably looks a little. You mean younger here, or in this one? It might be because of his the the eyes might be a little bigger in this one. That might be why he looks younger here than here. Also, the hair pushing back kind of makes him look more mature, because if you pull you do this, he looks a little younger. This is not right here, but I love drawing the I love doing, whenever I draw a mouth, I love drawing actually in the wrong place, but where the middle of the teeth, I don't know, I find that so satisfying. Oh, with brown spikes, yeah. Yeah, if he had brown spikes, he would I think he would look so radically different than he normally would. But the thing is, in the story, especially in the next book, there's a lot of times where he's hiding behind like those. I mean, mine looks ridiculous, but like I don't look cool like that. But behind behind his long bangs. So yeah, if Marco's pushing his hair back, I would imagine that he is gonna move some furniture around. Okay, so I was gonna do, let's see. Fix this a bit. Just a bit. Oh, this is gonna look good. So I was gonna give him something like this. Let me. Something like this. Hold on. Where'd it go? Something like this outfit. I don't know what you guys think. Not this chain, not this whatever this is. I was gonna put a chain, but not this like bolo thing. I was gonna put something else on it. I don't know what you think. Something like this. I don't know. Maybe at least the shape. I don't know about the colors, but I am trying to see. Jade, you just made my day that you are a Marco fan. Bolo ties. Wasn't your Bard character, Joe, the Bard that you used to play, didn't it have bolo tie? Did you guys like that outfit? You like that fit? Not a shape. Yeah, I think I would probably go with reds to be more like him, but you like the shape? Where'd it go? Here's the shape. Something like this. Oh. What, Jessica? All right, let's try to. What I particularly like about these is I love I love drawing this part. It's actually really complicated, this part right here, but it's so much fun to do when you can get it right. And I kind of want to draw it just like this, where it's like opened. Oh, what happened here? Okay. As long as you guys like it. Haven't we done enough shirtless? I mean, haven't we done enough tank tops this week? It's so funny because I'll ask you guys for like the shirt, and I know the tank top is coming. Like I just know. Like I know it's like. I can't see Marco kissing the mirror. I think Marco has too much self-respect to do what Hugo did. Like I think Marco is too cool for school. I don't think he would kiss. I don't think you would catch him kissing the mirror. I just don't see that. I could see him catching someone kissing the mirror and then making them feel absolutely ridiculous about it, but I don't think he would do it. I just don't see it. I don't see, like I'm running it through my head and I'm like, no, I can't see him do it. Yeah, he would punch he would probably punch the mirror because he would be upset with himself for some reason. He'd be one of those, where he takes it out. Marco's really hard on himself. So, Nick's our concept designer who's doing all the concept art for. Oh, you guys, speaking of, I think I can show you something kind of cool. Let me see if it's available. Hold on. Do you want to see a concept for fish bowls in Flux Destiny? Actually, pretty cool. So, need to figure out. Anyway, so Nick's is really good. So he went to fashion design school too. So his ability to draw, to design like outfits and stuff are really, really cool. Do you guys know what fish bowls are? Have you come across that concept? Not fish bowls. I'm talking about fish bowls in Flux Destiny. Do you know what those are? Sorry, my hair is super big today. You want to see? Okay. This is a little sneak. I normally would show this just to Patreon, but since you guys are with me late, I'll show you. Here are some concepts. And the cool thing about these fish bowls, I literally just got these. Here, let me show you. So I literally got these a few minutes ago before the stream started. And these are really cool. These are, is the music too loud? It's so loud for me. Okay, so look at this. Like this one right here is one that is cool because that's like a portable, like you could carry a Flux Destiny around, right? You can see the Flux Destiny inside. Here's one that looks like a bonsai tree, but it's actually a Flux Destiny inside. And then in Flux Destiny, if you're a biochemistry specialist, you can create, designer animals, right? But they can't exist outside Flux Destinies. If you take one out of a Flux Destiny, it will evaporate. So I figured that there would be like these fish bowls, and we're playing with kind of different designs, but these fish bowls that you can carry your little creature, your little Flux Destiny creature from in and out of a Flux Destiny. Here's some other ones. This is cool. This is like a regular fish bowl. You can see the little city inside. This is cool too. And then we've got here's some other ones here. But they kind of come in all different shapes and sizes, you know? Well, you know, the truth is, are animals created with Karmistry really alive? They're not really. You can't really create life. They're more like really convincing holograms, right? At least that's what I think, but who knows? You know, we talk about AI getting sentience. Maybe designer animals can too, you know? So anyways, you guys got a little sneak peek. I know I got a bunch of my patrons on here, so you guys got to see it too, so I'm not cheating. But I need to actually share this this one on Patreon. You should join my Patreon if you haven't. You get to see all this kind of stuff. We're putting this stuff all the time. You know, so anyways, I just thought I'd show you that because this was a kind of important concept of it. I love this one because I love the idea of carrying it. You know, like this would be one that you could carry around your little project. So cool. Anyways. Yeah, you couldn't carry you could carry it like it's like a little mini Flux Destiny in there. But if you opened that and the animal left, it would just evaporate because it's not real. It's a karma. It's made out of karma. And biokarmistry, escape artists can create those. And when they make Flux Destinies, they're usually the ones who make all these cool designer animals and plants to populate Flux Destinies with, right? If you happen to have a pet one, you can transport it from Flux Destiny to Flux Destiny with a fishbowl, but without having the fishbowl, if you tried to take it out, it would just evaporate. So that's basically what it is. Anyways, little sneak peek. There's so much art. There's so much amazing art that we've been working on for the RPG. And a lot of this will be in the beta rule book that's coming out in a couple of weeks. So middle working on props and all sorts of stuff. So anyways, he's really talented. Nyx is just amazing. They exist but don't. That's right. They exist but they don't. Oh, number 7 concept was floating islands. Yeah, it was floating islands, just like little floating. And you can make anything in a Flux Destiny. You could make actually a scene in the next book. Hugo is making one, and it's like a harbor. Like he has like a lighthouse. He makes a lighthouse with a harbor. It's pretty cool. But Hugo's not creative, right? So his lighthouse is not going to look really. It's not going to look as good as Marco's lighthouse, that's for sure. Yeah, isn't that cool? Isn't that really cool? I liked it too. And that's the thing is like, I don't have like in my head all the different ideas of kind of Flux Destinies you could do, but it's a way to like express your creativity through them, right? Like you could create all sorts of fantasy little worlds inside of those fishbowls. And a lot of like kids start off making them. They're kind of like, it's almost like chemistry sets, you know, for kids. Little kids can use them, fishbowls, and you know, adults and regular escape artists use them too for all sorts of reasons. A lot of times they use them for training, like to train how to make Flux Destinies. And then a lot of times they're decoration. Like one that's not here yet, I asked Nix to do was another version of a fishbowl that's like a fancy one that you would display like in a nice house, you know? Yeah, yeah, exactly. The nightmare scenes, like you could make some pretty scary Flux Destinies too. And that would be scary. And have your, we need to talk to your parents sort of situation. Well, you can't, mainly because if they were big enough, you could walk into a fishbowl, but they're not big enough. You could put your hand in there. Yeah, you can make bigger fish bowls, but once you start getting to a certain size, you want to start using canvas materials, which tonight I'm going to share on on Patreon, um, the canvas concepts. I already kind of cheated and showed that to you guys here. I have to show it to my patrons first, but I'm going to show the canvas materials tonight on Patreon, and they're really cool. They're really cool. No, they don't. They don't. The fish bowls don't shrink. They're static, so they're not going to change in any size. So if you're going to want to go inside a fish bowl, inside a Flux Destiny, you're going to want to do it on a canvas. So. Maybe something like this. Oh, I'm glad you've been finding that helpful, Joe, on there because, that stuff helps a lot with trying to understand how all those pieces fit together, especially for like, I haven't released the quantum karmistry concepts. Those are done, but I'm having Nix make some revisions to them, and I'll share them on Patreon soon. You actually could. You actually could do that, Dante. You actually could do that. And I do have Joe. I do have we're putting it out like in batches, but I do already have the secret agent stuff too. That's been developed. You could do it, but the problem is that if you go into if you were to shrink yourself and do that, you have to be careful for payback because shrinking yourself would generate some pretty serious payback. Because it's a very serious like body modification, so you just have to be prepared to deal with that. Reflect the mental state of the escape. Yeah, absolutely, it could. What would? Well, it falls under biochemistry. There's a point where I know things are like we're really stretching reality, and it's hard to kind of like group them. So I would just put it under bio on it, to be honest with you. We're just gonna do a little. I don't feel like cleaning up tonight. What is this? Why is it doing that? What? Where's that coming from? Hey, Dex. Exactly. Totally unserious. Yeah, that's basically, yes, Joe, that's actually right. Keeping yourself shrinked would make payback be a constant thing or active shrinking yourself. That would be, let me think that through for a second. Let me think that through. That's a good question. Okay, so it would be a one-time thing. It would be a one-time thing because the act of doing it, once you've made the change, you've made the change. So you're small, and to change yourself back does not negate the payback. Actually, you would gain payback to use karma again to do that. So every time you use Karmastry to do something, the level of the amount that you screw with how the world is, it's like, if, okay, look, if I were to draw a, hey Max, if I were to draw here like a scale, the payback scale. So this right here is, so the more, so this way is the amount of, let's say this is the amount of payback you'll get versus the amount of karma you use. So it kind of does this. It's not a linear line. It doesn't do this. It doesn't do this because you could keep pushing the envelope. Payback works more like this. It hits a point where it starts becoming exponential, and you have to be careful because, and it doesn't mean you can't perform Karmastry here or here or here. You just have to be very good at dealing with payback at that time and escaping. And so, but it does get to a point where the payback is so bad you cannot escape it, right? And so you have to be careful about this graph, and that's what I'm trying to illustrate with this. So for example, let's say you, on this scale right here, it's Marco creating paper airplanes, right? So this is paper airplanes, but you're going to shrink your whole body using payback. You're probably going to be around here. You know, it's a sharp spike in it, and because it's not natural. You know, it's not natural. Hey Amanda, good to see you. Every time you show up, you make me happy. Every time. I mean, all of you make me happy, but when Amanda shows up, it's like the world's right again. Oh, what else did I miss here? Yeah, you don't need karma to maintain it. Once you've made the change, that's it. The big payback catastrophes? Let's talk about it. What's your question about that? Oh, I love when you come and watch. There's something about, like, I know I'm always like reminiscing about the old days, but like whenever you show up, it's like, it's just like this, it just, you know, it just makes me feel like everything's right again. So, not that everything's wrong, but it's like that. So, payback is, yeah, like that's why you have to be careful, because payback can be really extreme, and not only can it hurt you, it can hurt people around you. Payback is coming after you, but there's collateral damage, right? Payback doesn't discriminate. It's not like, you know, oh, I'm not going to hurt that person. It will come after those that you love. I mean, it will come after you and possibly hurt those that you love. So you have to be very careful about that. That's right. That's exactly why it's regular. highly regulated at that. You know, there's so many different laws. When I was talking about that video I recorded where I started breaking down laughing because of palmistry, like there's a whole list of these things. You know, respecting property, public safety, karma consent decree. You know, you can't manipulate another person's karma without their informed and involuntary consent. Like we wrote these like laws, right? And like here, I mean, these are not like, I haven't finalized these yet, so these are not like, I wouldn't want you to quote these exact numbers because I'm still working on it. But if I were to show you this, whoops, here's just some of them. See, there's literally laws written out. Karma Energy Conservation Act, you know, unauthorized karmistry prohibition. So, like for example, you know, like if you're not an escape artist, you can't be performing karmistry. Look at all these laws. I mean, I have them. They're all numbered. You know, surveillance, restriction on combat. Summoning or binding people against their will. So there's so many things that are going, and so that's just general karma. That's Title 1. That's the part I started laughing about in this video, which like it was, you know, because I was reading this and it was so funny because I was reading it as if this was a real thing, you know. What's another one? Oh, here's some payback ones. Look. Let's look at some payback laws. Mandatory payback education. Like all escape artists have to know how to deal with payback. You know, any significant like use of karmistry that's gonna, escape artists have to submit a payback impact assessment requirement. Like these are like serious like rules that they have to do. A payback incident report, karma reserves limit. You know, there's all sorts of laws that you have to follow. Obviously in the story, you know, these are going to be, you know, they'll be pulled up. Resting Marco face. So you guys like this fit? I think this is the one we're going with. So if those of you who joined today on the afternoon stream, we did do Marco's character sheet for Flux Fantasy. I think Marco's pretty good at avoiding karmistry. Oh, that's right. That's part of your OC's background, isn't it? Anyway, thought that was fun. Like that's the kind of level of detail I like to put into these, just so that you have. I keep talking about how we really like to think things out, think things through. There's a level of exactly. Okay, what Rio just said is exactly like you just said it, and the escape artists, like basically they have their own. Hold on, I'll show you this. That stuff I was pasting was from our internal wiki that I'm always talking about. That is like the super private one with all the spoilers. But let me show you this. This is the escape artist rules. Well, they should be in here. Oh, it's under karmistry. Okay, so these are the 3 rules of Karmistry. I think these are on the wiki, like the public wiki, but um, so what goes around comes around, which has to do with with understanding payback. That the more Karmistry you use, the more payback you'll get. That's the first one. And then the second one is outsmart, don't outfight. So evasion of payback is super important. But the third one, which is break limits, not laws, right? So it encourages the escape artist to be creative with their Karmistry, but within the framework of the national Karmistry laws. So that's what's really important. You can. You're gonna need to, what? You're gonna need to get a new law book for this. Rogue escape artists do exist. That's why that's one of the reasons why the National Karmistry Authority exists. That they go after rogue escape artists. Actually, there's one that you'll learn about named Bludgeon. Very ominous name, right? Bludgeon is a rogue escape artist, and there's many rogue escape artists. Just because you're an escape artist doesn't mean you're good. You know, for the most part they are, but you can have evil ones, absolutely. So anyway, oh. So yeah, you have heroes and villains basically. Sometimes I just like to shade just for fun. Like I should be just cleaning him up and be done, but it's sometimes fun just to finish it up roughly, you know. Is there any way to send payback after someone? Like to trick the system to think it's someone else? You can distract payback, and you can absolutely, you can't get it to attack purposely someone else, like to trick it into thinking someone else is you, but you can divert it and you can distract it, and it can go after, and someone could be just happen to be in the way. Yeah, the heroes, like that's why I was talking about the other day about making villains that are compelling, with really good motivations that you can actually go. Have you seen that meme that's like when the villain is giving his speech and you're low key like agreeing with it? Have you seen that meme? I don't remember exactly how it goes. But when you start, I always think those are great villains. The ones that you're like, oh well, villain's kind of got a point, you know. Like those are really good points. Really good villains in my opinion. I like ones that blur those lines. So, but that's just me. Oh, thanks, Chad. I figured he probably would hunt rogue ones. That's cool. So Hugo's mom, who you'll meet in the next book, she's an agent for the National Karmistry Authority, so she's a special agent for them, and she hunts down escape artists, rogue escape artists. Hugo's dad is a home builder, and he used to build real houses, and real things in Fortuna are kind of like, everyone is into Karmistry and Flux Destinies and things, so real things are like, it wasn't until recently in the events of the story that middle class people could afford like canvas material to build houses out of Flux Destinies. It used to be that only rich people would, because canvases are very expensive. So Hugo's dad, will learn at the very beginning of the book, his business has really suffered. He was a contractor building homes, and his business suffered, and because of the introduction of synthetic canvas, and so the family is not in good shape because they're really depending on just one person, and they've got like 3 kids. Well, they have 4 kids, but Klaus, the oldest brother, he's gone off to be a movie star, right? And they're estranged, so you don't. It's not like Klaus is helping the family, you know. So there's a lot of like difficult things, a lot of pain that the family's dealing with. So, hey Mal. No, Klaus doesn't. He does not do that. He does not. Klaus does not help at all. And that's Klaus does not help his family, and we'll learn more about that, about him and that too. Now, Klaus does not appear in the first book, only by name. He appears, he's mentioned, but he does show up later in the series, but not now. We've got enough trauma to deal with. And Klaus is a dick. Like, I mean, you thought Jessica is like, I know your reasoning, but you're hating on Marco. But Marco was like, you know, his relationship with Hugo is that he's kind of like the big brother that Hugo hasn't been able to have, because his 2 older brothers, or his oldest brother's an ass, and Felix, his middle brother, is preoccupied, and you'll learn more about those things. So once you meet Klaus, then you're gonna be Oh no, go ahead. I think that'd be awesome. And when you do, you can totally tag us when you do it. I'd love to see that. Chris was struggling to say that you made a dick than I expected. The more that comes up, and who will be an ink fighter? Felix, Hugo's second older brother. He's studying to be an ink fighter. So naturally, there's some rivalry with him and his brother, because escape artists and ink fighters don't get along. Oh, you will just wait till you meet Klaus. Or I say Klaus, but he prefers, this is how, he prefers to be called Claus, because it sounds like, this shows you what a tool he is. He's like, it sounds like claws, like CLAWS. So he thinks it sounds more intimidating. No, you should say Klaus, but it's really, he goes by Claus. That shows you the level of toolery you're dealing with. So I think a lot of the anger toward Marco, it comes from the Fortuna's Rings book, because in there, he and Hugo have some pretty big fights, and Marco is really angry with him from the very beginning, because you don't yet know the backstory of why he's upset with Hugo. And that's the same thing that you'll learn in this story. Why. And when I did Fortuna's Rings, Marco is struggling with his own ego too. Like, he had his own plan for how things wanted to be in his life, and Hugo screwed that up for him. And I think there's a predisposition for people to instantly think that Hugo is innocent, and that he's just like, but Hugo's got his problems too, and you'll see that in this book, that this next one, that this is when you really see the other sides of Hugo, because he's a human too, so he has his own ego and issues that deal, and so both of them Um, both of their egos clash. So, is that part? Which part? You mean the part about them being angry with each other? If that's the case, the next book starts off and they have not seen each other for a year. So, there was something that happened, and it will be said in this book. It will be revealed what happened in this book. There's something that happened that broke up their friendship and caused Hugo's parents to be like, I don't want you guys to be next to each other. Like, I want you to stay away. So it's pretty intense what happens. And so what happens in this first book is that this first book is, without spoiling, but the basic premise is that Hugo does something that gets him into Wolfgang Academy because he had been banned from Wolfgang because of something that had happened the previous summer. And that something is what messed up their friendship, made Marco angry, created all sorts of problems for Hugo's family. Like it's something that happened and Hugo caused it. Okay? And you're going to see what happens, and then they end up reuniting at Wolfgang, and then things happen, which I'm not going to say what happens because I want you to enjoy the story. So, anyways, yeah, it did. That did remain. So, anyway, I honestly think that once you guys see that, you're gonna understand. I'm not saying I'm gonna stop saying the haters are gonna regret. You're not gonna regret. You're gonna understand. It's so funny. I hadn't thought of Alistair for a long time until you started bringing him up, and I was like, okay, I kind of like the Honto now. And like, I didn't pay much attention to them until you started making such a big deal about them. You know. But Marco has a huge ego, so you should absolutely know that he's got a huge ego. And the thing is that Marco, I think I mentioned this before, if you happen to be on another stream, but when you see Marco like this with this floppy hair, I don't know what else to call it, that's when he's at Wolfgang. And then after when they're on the road, it does grow out. That's when he has the ponytail. So that's why there's two. So Lucky is not Marco's pet. I wouldn't put it that way. But you'll see why. You will see why in this next book that Marco while Lucky loves both of them, like he loves both of them, there's a reason why he has an affinity for Marco, and you'll see why. So, anyway. If I were to draw, actually, oh, do I have it? Oh, wait, look, I think I can show you something. Hold on. I got some, like, Marco sketches that I don't think I've ever showed before. Where do I keep that? Where do I keep that? So many files. Oh, here we go. I don't think I've shared this before, but Oh, these are just two little simple ones. Here's a Marco and Hugo Carmistry duel. I'm gonna totally toy with your emotions. That's the whole. I'm absolutely gonna do that. So you're gonna see a little sketch of them. I love that about Zach. I think that's I love that aspect about him. So this is Hugo and Marco over here. Here's another one. Here's Marco. Little sketches I did of them doing a duel. Hey Owen. Zach is Mal's OC. And then I've got another one here I can show you. So we've got a couple other Marco ones here. These are just some sketches that I scanned recently. Nothing spectacular, but you can kind of see Marco using negative karma. So these are from my sketchbook. Marco making little paper airplanes. I have this one, I don't have it scanned, where he's throwing paper airplanes at Hugo. Not paper, karma paper airplanes, you know. I don't have it scanned though. It's a cool little sketch. Anyway. So, like I said, Marco is going to be hidden behind his bangs, and for most of the first book. Oh, and then of course I do have Liv. I do have two versions of this for you, okay? Because I have his. I do have the version with the hair pushed back for you too. I'm going to do two versions. So, anyway. This is more like how we know him. Well, did you guys have fun? You got to see a couple little spoilers tonight. Not spoilers, like sneak peeks tonight. So I'm going to be posting some stuff on Patreon in a few minutes after I hang up here. And then I got to get back to drawing. But I'm glad you guys enjoyed this, this drawing of Marco. I really like this one. And it was important that Liv likes it. Liv has to like this Marco. If she's not happy, I'm not happy. So I wanted to be sure she was happy. And I think this one's going to turn out so cool. Like this and that other one that I have in the header is how I picture Marco. And as an artist, like for my fellow artists out there, I think some of you understand and can appreciate it's, let me do this. There we go. It's hard for like whenever you've got like something in your head, like a certain design or a certain thought, like, but it's not looking the way you want. And me as an artist, I have a very particular vision of like how I want it to look, like down to the proportions. So when the proportions are off, it doesn't look like the character to me. And so that's why I obsess over it. And Marco's proportions have always been very difficult for me for some reason. So, you know, it's something I struggle with a lot. Oh, it's okay. You know, Amanda, I'm streaming all the time now. I'm almost like basically streaming every day. And we've been doing them at different times. You know, we do it like sometimes at 4:00 Central. Sometimes I'll do these night ones. I'm going to be doing a lot more drawing now at night too. So I'm going to pull in you guys because I need to get back to drawing. I've been so busy with this and doing the RPG that I'm trying to do that. So I'm so glad to see you guys too. And we'll do some karaoke nights in the server too. So we haven't done that too because we can't do that on here because of copyright strikes, but that'll be fun to do. So I hope you guys had a good night. It's a lot of fun. I'm gonna go back to writing now. I should be doing that. I got a book to finish. It's almost done. And I'm almost done. So anyways, have a great night, you guys. You know how much I love you. And see you in the server. And by the way, if you've written me questions in the server, I'm sorry I was not there today, so I need to go in there and read. But I appreciate Mal and Boofy and my our lore leaders there taking the charge on that. It helps me out a lot. Love you guys. Good night. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you later.